I wasn't even profitable yet, bro. I made like, I think it was like $40 on a trade. Like, I'm profitable now. I feel like I'm a god, you know? I'm like, this is my first money I've ever made on my phone. So I looked at it like, okay, I can quit now. So I was getting paid like $13 the hour, right? I had 2 hours left. I go to the bathroom and I start doing the math. I do the math, 26 bucks. I just made 40 bucks on my phone, bro. I can do this forever, you know? And then I just run out through the secured building. The alarms go off. I remember screaming, just running, right? And screaming, I'm free, finally, man. That's where I really found consistency. My second payout was $12,000, which was life-changing money. Little by little, I just started to find that consistency, seeing real withdrawals. I think that everybody tries to go for these crazy payouts, 50K, 80K, 100K, and they end up losing their profits trying to do that. So many people that are trading right now get funded and they're up $13,000 or $10,000, and then they keep trading. And then at their regular job, they're making $3,000, $4,000 a month. I'm gonna be honest, bro. It really started to progress when.
All right, folks, welcome to Trading Up. We've got Arturo in the house, aka Dr. Dollar. He's over there in Houston, Texas. He's been trading live full-time for the last 3 years. He's a funded trader and mainly trades his live personal accounts. So welcome to the show, Arturo.
Thank you for having me, brother.
Start off with, we're going to find out all about your story, how you got into trading, and we're going to dive in there and really sort of dig deep to find out how you came up with your edge to become profitable. Folks, if you're looking for a prop firm at the moment and you want someone who's been around for ages, flexible, reliable, and has low profit targets, then check out my sponsors, Blue Guardian. So these guys, I've been trading with them for the last 8 months. They've been sponsoring the show for about that amount of time, and they even have guys on my live stream trading them as well. So what I've found is their commission seems to be lower than some of the competitors out there. So really great trading environment, and they offer now CTrader and some other fantastic trading platforms as well. If you want to check them out, there's a coupon code in the description, or just use it, Trading Nut, all one word, and get 10% off at checkout. There's a QR code you can grab here as well. All right, folks, let's get on with the show.
So I worked at Target as a like the guy who takes all the boxes out of the, what do you call that? The trucks and stuff. I used to take all the boxes out, bro, sweating my balls off, bro. It was terrible, man. And eventually that's when I started to learn how to trade, because there was a coworker there that was trading already, right? So we're working overnight. So we're up during the London session, right? And then he tells me, he's like, bro, put $100 into this account. I was like, okay, bro, I'll do it tomorrow. Boom. I get to work and we just start trading on the job. Like we would go and take like bathroom breaks and stuff like that. And then we were just trading. We were like, what do you think about this? Okay, yeah, let's take it by. And then it got to a point where I wasn't even profitable yet, bro. I made like, I think it was like $40 on a trade, right? And then I had like 2 hours left of work, and I was like, started to do the math and stuff. I was like, this $40, I just made it from my phone. Like, I'm profitable now. I feel like I'm a god, you know? I'm like, this is my first money I've ever made on my phone. So I looked at it like, okay, I can quit now, you know? So I started to do the math. Yeah, it was rough, man. I started to do the math. I was getting paid like $13 the hour, right? I had 2 hours left, came out to about like 26 bucks. I was like, bro, I just made more than what I would make if I stayed here, you know?
Yeah.
So this is a crazy story. I honestly have never talked about this story, at least publicly. But I go to the bathroom and I start doing the math. I do the math, 26 bucks. I just made 40 bucks on my phone, bro. I can do this forever, you know? So that day, and we were in a secure building. The building was under alarm. It was overnight, you know. They do it so that nobody steals stuff, you know. Um, and I look at my phone. I see how much I'm gonna make at this job. I see how much I'm floating in profit, which is like 40 bucks, right? And then I just run out, man. I run out through the secured building. The alarms go off, bro. But I remember leaving that job. I remember screaming, just running, right? And screaming, I'm free, finally, man. I'm free, right? And then guess what happens, right? I get home and I blow the account, man. So I just made $40 and I closed that position, and then I just start trading my life away because I need to start making money, right?
Oh,
And then I
dear.
blow my account that same night, man. So now there's no way I can go back to that job, right? And then I don't have an account. Now I'm looking at myself and looking at my wife now, well, my girlfriend at the time. And I look at her, I'm like, babe, what do I do? Like, we're screwed, man. Like, there's nothing left. Like, I don't have a live account anymore. So then that's when I really started to dive deep into it. That's when I took That's when I bought Daniel Savage's course. And Daniel's probably gonna hate hearing this, but I didn't even have enough money to buy Daniel's course, you know? So like I got it like a pirated version on the internet. You know,
Right.
like one of
And
my friends sent it.
you're one of his friends now, right?
Yeah, he
Oh
knows this
dear.
though. He knows.
Oh dear. Yeah.
So I found it on the internet. I didn't have enough money to buy it. But I still wanted to, like, even if you don't have the time, like the money to invest, you could still invest the time, you know? Like, it took me a while to find that course, bro, but I eventually did. That's when I started really diving deep, bro. I wish I had that journal, but I lost it during the move. Bro, I had a journal of like all pages written, just Fibonacci's, SMAs, price action, just really diving deep into it. And then like, and to stay back when I was just not profitable, bro, like it was rough, bro. Like I remember taking trades over and over again, the same type of setups that just lose for me over and over again, right? Like I think to become a profitable trader, you have to look at the certain setups that work for you, right? And only trade those setups. I was trying to trade every single day, every single hour of the day, even if it was Asian session, no volume, I didn't care. Like I would just trade whatever, you know, like even if the setup's not there. Because the way I've been trading recently is using SMAs and really price action from there. But I've completely programmed my strategy into like a robot, which we'll get into that deeper. I know you're a robot guy, right?
Yeah, I automate like a lot of stuff, so I'm
Yeah.
always tinkering. Now,
Hey, that's the future, man.
yeah, well, I mean, you say that, and it's sort of, it is and it isn't.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a difficult road to go down if there's so many parts. But we're
Definitely.
gonna dive into the a bit more into your journey here. So, like, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you it sounded like you had a setup from Daniel's stuff. You had a setup that did you back test it? I mean, how did you get to the point where that setup was actually working? And you said you
So
traded less, but I mean, how do you sort of filter out the trades? Because I think that's where a lot of people get stuck, is like they get taught a setup and they go, okay, well, I execute it, didn't work, didn't work, didn't work. You've got to filter it to a point where it does work and you get rid of the losses. I mean, how do you do that? I mean, how did you do that?
So I think journaling, man, like it was 6 months of straight losing. Like there was not a single moment that I made money in those 6 months. I was trading on demo accounts, that didn't work. I was trading on live accounts, that didn't work. I was trying to get a challenge account, that didn't work either. And it was just really just time in the markets, man. Just looking at these markets and understanding them a lot, you know, and writing down these setups that you see. Like if I see a perfect setup, you know, I have screenshots of that perfect setup now. Like I have screenshots of my winning trades, I have screenshots of my losing trades. So and then I like to go back every time I take a trade now. I like to go back and see, okay, this was a winning setup that won for me last week. Let me take this position this week. You get me? And then if I look at a trade and it's a trade that loses more than it wins, then I just don't take that trade. You know, like there's a lot of the thing about the markets is that it repeats itself over and over again. You know what I mean?
And
And
when can I just dive into that a little bit deeper? So when you say, like, you're looking at the setup
mm-hmm,
and you see the same setup that won come up
mm-hmm.
again, what's the sort of probability that that same setup is going to work? Because I've
So
seen that
one
before in the
more often,
past.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen that in the past, like where wow, that setup was a great move. Exact same setup,
And you
nothing's
lose.
different, and you
Yeah.
lose. Yeah, so it's like, and then even again, and you lose, and you're like, well, hang on a sec, because I mean, what I'll do is I'll go back to robots. Even yesterday, I was like, oh, hang on a second, I've just seen that. It's kind of a simple strategy. Let's just build that in and get a theory on whether or not it's actually gonna, it's got some legs. Straight away, it was like straight down to zero
Yeah.
over
I
like
definitely agree.
5 years, whatever it was. And I was like, okay. But I did actually find, I was able to get a straight up curve with a one
Mm-hmm,
market over 5 years and for, 200 odd trades, which, you're talking two trades a month kind of thing, maybe three. So it wasn't
mm-hmm.
like dramatic. But even that, but on the, 5 minute chart that I was looking at, I was like, surely that's like I've just checked 5, 10 of these and they all worked. It's like, surely this is
Yeah.
going to work forever. And it doesn't. I mean, that's the question I've got for you is how did you work it? How did you get to the point where, I've got a screenshot of the setup. I'm, seeing it again. I've got up.
So
I
to
know that because there,
diversify,
there must be something else to it, right? There must be something
yeah,
else. And
yeah,
that's what I'm trying to get at. What is the something
yeah.
else?
The something else is really just like I said before, bro. It's nothing really specific, and I think like it's just a collective of things. It's just a collective of experience, a collective of understanding what works and what doesn't work, right? When I look into the markets, I know exactly what setup I'm looking for. And if that setup does not come to me, I do not take a trade, which is the mistake I was making early on,
Ah,
right? That setup would not come and I would still be in a position, right? It's something I called boredom trades. I was just in a trade because I'm bored. I just want to feel that rush. I want to be in a trade. I want to gamble my life away, right? Like as a beginner trader, this is gambling. Like if you don't know what you're doing, you're gambling. You know what I mean? Like the only way that you become even poker players or blackjack players, you got to find your edge. If not, you're just gambling your life away, right? So I look at it like that because I'm a big time casino guy. Like I like the risk, and as long as I have an edge, I'm willing to risk, right?
mm,
But if I don't have that edge in the market, I can classify that instantly and I can move on to the next trading day, right? So I don't want to give like my complete secrets away, right? Because I've completely automated this system, right? And I don't want to give it away like that because, bro, like then everybody's gonna use it or whatever the case is, right? Like I'd rather just keep it on my own. A lot of people do use my robot, but they don't know how the robot's taking that trade or how is it looking for that entry or why is it patient here or why is it disciplined here? Like when it comes to my robot, bro, there's no emotions. You know what I mean? Like, and if I want to tweak something, it tweaks it instantly and it'll take that consistently, right? So I think as a new trader, right, not now going into these robots, like I think the best way to test the strategy is with the robot. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
look, I
Because
mean, it is because it is like, once you get 100% mechanical, it's like, well, in theory, if I can automate it and match the rules, which, I'm able to do a lot of the time anyway, sometimes it's difficult because the rules are a little bit too
Mhm.
subjective.
Yeah,
And then you've got to come up with other ways, and it's not really the strategy. Uh, then yeah, that's the end result, right? It's not
yeah,
gonna lie. I mean, I've mentioned this in shows before. I was had traders say, "Oh, look, I've got this. Here's my back test, 30 trades, whatever, and it looks awesome." It was 90% win rate or 80% win rate, and everything went 3R. And then I test it with a bot, build exactly the same rules, and I was like, "Well, the bot took this one. Why don't you take that one?" Oh, I must
yeah.
have missed that one. Or well, the price was slightly different on my feed than yours. And then it's like, well, it doesn't. It's 47% win rate. I mean, what are we going to do here, folks?
So it's
So
all emotions, right? It's all
yeah,
emotions. That just means that I
but
think they're getting lucky at times, like they look at the markets and they're picking and choosing which trades to take,
yeah, or
like.
yeah, or yeah, that's it. It's or experiences telling them I'm not going to take this trade because
Mhm.
I can see it's going to be going into a solid level or a rejection level or something like that. So
Yeah.
now, so going back into like your journey to before we'll get into the bots in a minute, but and how you automated everything, but like so what were you? So where did you go from there? Like so you started to you must have started to win at some point when you journaled and you got rid of some of those errors. How did it all progress from a like capital preservation
So
and funding point of view?
I'm gonna be honest, bro. It really started to progress when I started to hang out with Daniel, right? So before I hanged out with Daniel, I didn't think it was real or like I didn't have the confidence to see somebody else do it, right? Somebody else go and do it in front of you, right? Making money in front of you almost daily, right? That gives you that confidence that yeah, it is real. There is a way out. You know what I mean? So me being able to do that, me being able to see him trade every day really helped my journey out. Like it gave me that confidence and the
Mm,
way he would mentor me and the way he would tell me when to trade and when not to trade. A bunch of stuff just hanging around him, bro. The way he would walk, talk, all this stuff. Like I gravitated towards that. And I think if I didn't hang around with Daniel, I don't think I would be profitable today. The reason I say that is because I needed to see what someone doing it actually did,
mm,
like, and how they work their psychology when they're in drawdown. How did they act when they're in profits? How, although Daniel, Daniel does get a little crazy when he's in drawdown, but he's not acting on that emotion. You know what I mean? Like he's acting upon logic. Like
yeah.
I can be emotional when I'm in drawdown. I'm emotional. I'm a human. You know what I mean? Like nobody's gonna come here and tell me that, oh, I don't care when I'm in drawdown. I don't care when I'm losing money. That's a lie, bro. You're human. You have emotions. Humans don't like losing money, so don't act like you're good. But it's about not acting upon those emotions, right? Because anybody can be emotional, but it's if you let the emotions trade for you.
Mm.
You get me? That's when everything changes.
Hey folks, what a view behind me. I'm at BLACKBULL Markets headquarters here in Auckland, New Zealand. Speaking of views, you can get TradingView paid plans for free at BLACKBULL Markets, saving you up to $600 a year. That's right, get either the Essential, Plus or Premium plans absolutely free, and all you need to do is trade from one lot a month at BLACKBULL Markets. And you can also get a 100% deposit bonus for your first deposit up to $1,000. All you need to do is click the Trading Nut link in the description below.
But what was your question about my journey?
Like
when did it all change?
Yeah, and you said it was when you watched Daniel trade live. I mean, and were you like in the background in the same room when he was doing it? Or
Yeah,
were you
in the same
okay?
room.
Right.
Like
So
we were
you're in the
hanging
same.
out
Yeah.
nearly every single day. So we met through a meet and greet, right? He had like a little meet and greet. I went and met him, and we instantly like had a relationship. And then that's when things just started kicking off between him and I. And I have so much love for him, bro. Like nothing that happens between us will ever take that love from me, because he's my mentor, bro. Like he's the one
Yeah.
who really showed me everything, bro. And I
Yeah.
always remember where it came from, you know?
I think it is something. I mean, like I've seen, really good traders be in a position, and I'm like, why are you not freaking out? Like the price has just gone against you by 5 pips or whatever it is, and you're
Yeah.
not freaking out, and it's coming back to your break even level, and you're not freaking out. Why aren't you freaking out? I'm like going,
Hmm.
is he going to close a position here or what? I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
this
yeah.
thing's this was a few years ago, and then
Hmm.
the other thing I was going to say was, yeah, I think there is that hurdle around, and it just seems like a weird hurdle where I think people just come in and they become skeptical when they don't find success early on. And it's hard to break that habit. And I was the same, where it took me years to sort of realize that there are actually people who are killing it in this in this industry. And this was before prop firms, right? Prop firms, I
Hmm.
think, have made that seem a lot more real, or feel a lot more real, with leaderboards and people actually seeing verified results hitting the leaderboards pretty regularly. Well, pretty much every day.
Hmm.
Whereas back in the day, it was like everyone's trading their own stuff and nobody's really knows whether or not this has been faked, or what have you. So it was very hard to tell. So okay, that's
Hmm.
interesting. Now, I mean, in terms of the mentorship that he gave you, did he sort of teach you anything that maybe others haven't really learned from Daniel in the years? Like, or am I like, did he give
It's
you
just
anything special, or
yeah,
was there anything that you sort of like walked away with that you felt like,
yeah, I
damn,
that
this
I
is a
still
game
use
changer?
today.
Yeah.
Psychology, man. Like psychology is everything, bro. Like even when I go in and build a bot, or like when I'm trading on my manual trading account, like even when I do all these stuff, like if you do not have the psychology to come into the game with confidence. Now, confidence isn't, oh, I'm gonna win this trade no matter what, right? Confidence is, if I lose this trade, I'm still going to be a profitable trader on the next one, right? So it's like, because we take losses, man. Like so many people, like the account I'm going to show you here soon. I took a loss yesterday, but if I show you the P&L for the whole month, or the 3 months, 4 months, whatever it is, it's in profit. You know, people tend to look at the daily, right? They tend to click that day, and they see that they're all red. But bro, like eventually you're gonna get to a point where you can click that month, you can click that year. And that's what really helps me out. Like that's what something Daniel taught me, that when I am profitable, I need to understand that I can take a trade and be, look, I actually just took a trade right now. That's hilarious. But I could take a trade, and actually understand that I'm going to be in a profitable situation by the end of the month, by the end of the year. You get me?
Mm.
And I don't look to be profitable every single day, and I don't have goals for the day. Like I don't set myself, oh, I need to make $2,000 today, $3,000 today. I don't do that, because guess what? Whenever I make $1,800 and I have that rule where I need to make 2,000, I'm going to take another trade, and then I'm gonna lose all my profits. I just take what the market gives me. I just run with it, and I'm happy with it. There's no reason for me to be stressing out about um oh, am I going to be profitable by the end of the week, or by the end of the month, or by the end of the year? I've already proven that to myself, with time and time after, again, like if you didn't know who I was before, like I used to live stream on YouTube nearly every single day. Every single day I was live for 3 years straight. Now recently I backed off from it, because you can go back, like it's on my YouTube channel. Three
I think I
years of
did check it
data.
out. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
3 years of data, bro, and we had so much fun on that stream, bro. Like I would have drinks with my people. Some nights I would hang out with them, I would laugh with them, I would trade with them, I would lose with them, I would win with them. you know, and it was a whole community aspect to it. So it's like a lot of people can fake everything, you know, like you know how this industry goes. Like people don't believe everything you see, but like when you're live trading with people, it's undeniable. You know what I mean? Now, recently I have backed away from that because I've made my strategy completely automated, and I'm have so many other businesses and stuff like that. Not saying I don't care about my community. I love my community, bro. They stand behind me no matter what I do, bro. I see them in the comments. I see them everywhere, and I love them, bro. But I'm in a different position in my life now where I have a kid, I have a wife, you know, like things are changing for me in a way where I have to give that time to them. I've given 3 years of my life to my community. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
now it's like, okay, let me take a step back. I have other businesses to run as well. And then I don't like, I'm telling you, I kind of just recently, this is how it's been. I just wake up to more money. Like I don't even trade. Like at the end of the week, I'll see the bots that the bot trades that it took, and I'll tweak my robot a little bit here and there. But bro, like I just don't even look at it throughout the week. I just look at my P&L. That's it.
So let's dive into your prop firm sort of experience before we get into the bot. So like, how did you go with trying to get funded, getting your first payout, all that sort of thing?
That was rough, bro. Like that's what put me in credit card debt. I was buying everything with credit cards. Yeah.
All the challenges were credit
All
cards,
the
just on
challenges,
the
yeah.
right.
I blew 11 challenges before passing one. 11. And I know a lot of people, you know, they passed their first one or whatever. I blew 11 challenges before passing one, right? And then when I passed one, I actually got a payout. I got a $7,000 payout from them, and then I blew the account the next month. So, and one thing but even blowing that account, it taught me a lot of things, bro. Is because those prop firm rules are there for a reason. They're there to make you a better trader if you follow them, and if you
Mm,
know how to manage your risk correctly, and if you know how to not overtrade. You know, like there's so many times in my journey where I was trading a prop firm that I would take a trade, right? And then I'll be in a position, it goes into profit, and then I closed the position early, right? And then I'm like, oh, I'm gonna take another trade because I closed that position early, right?
yeah,
So it's like,
yeah.
bro, just stick to the analysis, hold that position, wait for it to hit full take profits, and then maybe, I don't even recommend this, maybe then look for a trade.
Mm,
But I was trading like, or like, let's say I would take a loss, right? I remember this day like it was yesterday, man. It was terrible. I bought 3 challenges in one night and I blew them all in one night. That's the gambler side. You know what I mean? That's like me just trying to freaking go crazy. I blew 3 challenges in one night. And that's why they give you the credentials so fast, right?
yeah,
They know what you're they know
yeah,
what you're going through. They know that your
yeah,
psychology is messed up. I'm gonna give this guy the money quick. And then boom, I enter the account, whatever. I get into a position and I lose like I think 2%, right? I'm like, okay, if I risk 2% again, I'm gonna get this loss back, right? I risked 2% again, but instead of going for my usual 1-to-1 R to R, right? Like my strategy was back then, 1-to-1 R to R, I would get out. I was going for the 1-to-2, right? Because I need to get my back my loss and make money. I
yeah,
would lose it all. And now I'm down 4%. I would take a point five or whatever, a 5 lot on 100K. I would lose the $500. I'm like, I have $480 to play with. You know what I mean? I'm gonna try to get it all back in one trade. I think that's the problem with traders, man. They go into drawdown and their whole strategy just goes out the window.
yeah,
You know what I mean? They start
yeah.
losing and they just
You want it
they
back
go
straight
nuts.
away. Yeah, you want it back
Yeah.
straight away, right? Like you'll take
Mhm.
two losses, you want it back straight away, and then you go, okay, all right, this one's gonna get. I'm gonna get my 2R. I'm gonna hold the trade, even when it says get out here because the move is over, and you don't, and you. I'm like I'm doing it all the time, so I know this feeling
And bro,
all too
like I
well.
think your strategy shouldn't change whether you're winning or losing. I think that if you have a profitable strategy, there's going to be losses and there's going to be wins.
Mm,
Now, of course, there's times in my career where I've had those losses come a little bit more consecutively where I want to go back and see what am I doing wrong, right? But then that's when the journal comes. That's when my live stream was my journal,
yeah,
right? I would like to go back, look at how I was acting. What were my emotions that day? How was I feeling? Why did I take this entry so early? And sometimes, man, like you have a profitable strategy and the setup just doesn't play out. You know what I mean? Like, because no setup is 100%. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to take losses, you're going to take wins. So it's like trying to weave out the overall losing trades is what you should try to do.
Now, where did you get to with prop firms before you sort of decided to make that
Yeah, I
shift to
didn't
just
even get
trading your
into it.
personal account? What was the sort of like pinnacle? Like this was where I was like absolutely killing it, and then obviously you sort of moved to the
So
personal stuff.
So 9 months in, I made those $7,000. 9 months. And then I didn't get funded again until like 3 months after that. I would say a year in is when I became consistently profitable with MFF. MFF was like the main prop firm that I usually used.
Mm.
Unfortunately, they went down, you know. But that's where I really found consistency. That's where I got $32,000 payouts, you know, like big life-changing money for me, you know, like my second payout was $12,000, which was life-changing money, but I was in credit card debt. You know what I mean? Like I had to pay back all these challenges that I already
Yeah,
bought, you know? So little by little, I just started to find that consistency, seeing real withdrawals. I think that everybody tries to go for these crazy payouts, 50K, 80K, 100K, and they end up losing their profits trying to do that. You know, like so many people that are trading right now get funded and they're up $13,000 or $10,000 and then they keep trading. Like if and then at their regular job, they're making $3,000, $4,000 a month. But now that they're trading, they think that
yeah,
they're gonna make 1 million overnight, you know?
yeah.
So me personally, that was a problem for me as well. Like I'm not saying that I've never blown an account from that point on. That's not the truth. Like I'm just trying to be as transparent as possible. I've blown accounts, bro, but overall profiting on the markets, man. And that should be the goal. Like anybody who shits on you for a loss, bro, is because they're not profitable yet. They don't understand trading. They don't understand that there's losses that come in this game. They don't understand that you as a trader aren't defined by a winning trade or a losing trade.
Mm.
You know what I mean? You as a trader are defined as the long-term profitability that anybody should reach. I know so many of students, people, other people's students that they get paid out and they lose it all in the next coming months, right? They continue to trade and they lose it all because they didn't maintain those same rules. Their strategy changes when they start to lose. And it's not like going into back to like the funding challenges, you know, like they changed my life. And I think without funding firms, like you know, you're wearing a Blue Guardian hat, right? Is that
Yeah, Blue
that's a
Guardian's a
firm, right?
sponsor. Yeah,
Yeah, let's go, man. Everybody go buy a fucking Blue Guardian account. But
yeah.
I think they give a trader an outlet. There's so many students of mine who are in India, Nigeria, bro, and they're funded. They're funded 100K, dude. Like, you know what $1,000 is in India?
Oh yeah, I know. It's like just it's life changing, right? For
Life changing, bro.
yeah,
I
that
think
kind
the
of
opportunity is, and I think they have the stigma, you know, where, you know, because they're not really, I don't want to say that they're not for the trader, right? Because they are. They definitely are there to help. But there's certain firms out there who do sketchy shit, which is why now I am currently trading my broker money, you know, like strictly like broker money, especially with all this stuff that's happening with the MT4 licenses and everything that's happening. I just rather trade my broker money. I know that I can request a withdrawal if I'm out to dinner and the broker I use at least gets me withdrawals like in a couple hours. So I know if I'm gonna go out to eat with my girl and I want to pay for that from the Forex market, I just withdraw before I leave. By the time the check gets there, it's already there. So,
awesome. Now let's talk about how you moved from, I suppose, manually trading, doing your 3 years of live streams, to trading with an algo. I mean, what was the whole start of that, the genesis? Why did you decide to go down that route?
so having my baby is what really started to scare me a bit, you know, because I was a London trader. So London traders stay up during night, at least on my side of the world, you know. I had to stay up overnight.
Yeah,
And then my girlfriend at the time tells me, oh, I'm pregnant. And imagine I'm 24 years old. I'm not like I was kind of scared at that moment. I was making good money, but having a baby, no matter where in what situation you're in, you're never
yeah,
ready for that. You know what I mean? Like, so I found out that she was pregnant, and that's when I started to really dive deep with my programmers and really start seeing, okay, I need to find a way to automate this, right? Because in my mind, I was not gonna have time for anything, right? Like my
yeah,
whole life is gone. At least that's how people were portraying it to me. So I was like, damn, okay, I have to find a way to automate this where, you know, I could take trades during London session and not be there during London session, you know? So that's when I really started working like 9 months, 6 months into it, 6 to 9 months, really diving deep with these people and just, you know, bro, paying a bunch of money to build this robot. Like, because I don't know how to code, you know, like, and I have a good strategy. So it was me trying to tell these people what the strategy is and make sure it's correct before I use it, right? So we back tested it for 3 years. We've been using it for now about a year now. Publicly, we've been using it for about 6 months now. So
So
I think
the back, like I mean, with building the bot, especially when you're using other developers and having to get them to, I suppose, buy into it, because things, if you don't get a developer to buy into it, they're just going to do exactly what you say, and
that won't
you,
work.
you end up going back and forth forever and a
Mhm.
day. To, I mean, that's why I sort of ended up building my own ones, because I did that and it was just so painful, and you do have to
So
spend an awful lot of money to get exactly what you want. So I mean,
it is.
how did
And it's,
I
dude,
mean?
even to this day, like I've had to hire a full-time team to make sure that the coding is still correct. And if I want to tweak something, I
Mm,
have the people to do it immediately. Like it's that's what it takes. I mean, like if you really want to automate your like this goes to other traders out there. Like if you really want to automate it, don't think it's cheap. It's not cheap at all. You know what I mean? Like you
but
can go on ChatGPT and probably make some shitty ass
yeah,
bot.
yeah.
But that you know what I mean? But me personally, I like things that work, and I like to take the time and make sure it works before, and now we have the robot, where other traders are using it as well. So it's like I'm putting my face behind everything. You know what I
Mm.
mean? Needs to
So,
work.
like I mean, obviously, would you have said at that time your strategy was mechanical enough to be put into a bot, or did you have to
Very
adjust
precise.
it?
Yeah.
It was mechanical enough, so you knew, and
So
then
there's different things that I do that I did when I'm manual trading, of
yeah,
course, where I had to kind of tweak it to where it still works for the bot, but it's still within my strategy and it's still profitable. But we slowly but surely, fixed those issues that we were having. And I'm not saying my robot has this crazy win rate. Like, I don't care about a win rate. As long as it's profitable, I'm happy, man. Like, and that's all it takes, man. So many traders out here, they want the easy way out, man. They want 100% win rate strategy, and it's like they will never find that. And I think that's what's gonna hold them back.
and so was this like just a typical risk to reward kind of approach with the algo? Like you're not doing
No, I
any
could tell you
hedging or
that.
anything
Yeah.
like that? Is
No,
it?
we could tell you the risk to reward for sure. So pretty much what it does is that it takes, damn, I don't know how much I should say, but okay, so the risk to reward is it's risking 35 pips to catch 70 pips, but it'll close half at 35 pips, moving stops to break even at that point, and then letting it run to the 70 pips with the other half of the position. So risk to reward is great. Like, and I can pull up an account if you want, just so you can see it really. Like, I can pull up a MyFX book, whatever it is that you need. But dude, like this robot has changed my trading forever, bro. It's giving me so much time, like to focus on myself, focus on my family, focus on other things, outside of the trading industry. I think that, yeah, trading is great. Forex is great, but it's a tool to build generational wealth. You get what I'm saying? Like without the money I made from Forex, I would be screwed, you know?
Now, what about like back testing the bot to get it to a point where you're
Yeah,
like going, okay, look, this is I'm very happy with it. I'm happy to go live with it. I mean, what were sort of the key
that was
milestones
scary.
that it hit? Yeah, so like
Yeah.
because I mean you can back test on shoddy data, you can back test on I mean what I like to do is I like to use a single feed that matches the demo feed and only stick to that. I don't really care what broker it is. I can copy the trades across to whatever broker I need to trade on
Hmm.
or prop firm or whatever. So, I mean, what was the what were the key things you were doing around back testing, or did you just get a team to do it for you?
So yeah, well, I used just a simple MT4 backtesting to backtest it. Every single time that they would have the code ready, I would put it in, make sure it's like in a file, of course, and then just put it into my backtester and see how it's working. Slowly but surely, we started to see because the first robot I built was making 12% in a year. The whole year was only averaging about 1% a month, and
Yeah,
like to some people, they might not like that. You know what I mean? But like to big investors, they would love that. You're kind of beating the S&P at that
yeah,
point. But I was trying to make something where it doesn't just help me out, like I could be gone, and God forbid, right? I could die tomorrow, right? But my robot's still there and it could still feed my family. You know
yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean? So
yeah, yeah.
I got my mom on this, I got my dad on this, I got everyone on it. But it was scary to take that jump into putting live money into something you don't really know works, right? Because backtesting is like, okay, it's taking past data, right? But who knows how the market's going to change future, right? Like, or the present. You get what I'm saying? So it was tough to kind of make that switch. I started with only $1,000, right? Put
Yeah.
$1,000 in an account. It was making 20, $30. Great, amazing. Then just slowly upping the risk and upping the risk and upping the risk.
It's because I mean, I've experienced is like, somebody will go, oh, the strategy is amazing, and then they've only traded it for like, so let's say the 3 years that you traded it, right? The
Mm-hmm.
3 year period. Now, before the 3 years, it was basically break even, or it was absolutely tanking.
So it
And so
depends.
when,
So I was keep in mind I was trading manually. I haven't been trading with an EA for 3 years. I've been trading
yeah,
with an EA for I want to say the last year, right? But going back to what you were saying is if I wanted to, if it it was scary, man. Like with anything you invest in, bro, like there's no certainty when it comes
no,
to the market. You get what I'm saying?
yeah,
So if I wanted to make my strategy as profitable as possible, it had to be back tested, unfortunately, right? But then there has to come a point in time where I see that this shit's working, right? And it's working on a $1,000 account, and I'm seeing all these profits, and I'm like, bro, I'm here trading $1,000 account, man. Like, what am I doing?
yeah.
When the account made 30%, so it's like I gotta risk big, to make big.
Yeah, I mean, it's different. I suppose it's because you mentioned one thing I was going to touch on was like you said, I might go in and tweak the strategy.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you do that and know that like because the way I sort of see bots, and like maybe you got a different view on it, is that some people will go back 20 years and test it across like 40 markets, but it only
Mm-hmm.
takes like 2 trades a year on each market. And
Mm-hmm.
because of the 20 years and the 40 markets, they get enough to know that that strategy actually works. I'm not going to trade it on all 20 markets, but I'm going to add
Yeah.
up more strategies on top of it, and then they basically come up with a portfolio of strategies that all work across huge
Yeah.
amount of data to get a consistently looking equity curve. I mean, it sounds like you're more down the route of I've got a approach I know works. My bot's going to execute that for me, but I'm going to tweak it, and we're trying to work out like so you got confidence in the approach. We're trying to work out how the tweaks sort of how you would tweak it to go. I'm now going to trade it this way without
So
back testing
for
it and
so
stuff.
whenever I do tweak it, it has to be on a quarterly sense. You know what I mean? Because I
Right.
can't just go in there and tweak it because it had a bad week. You know what I mean? Like that doesn't mean that the robot isn't profitable if because it had a bad week. I would have to go into it and look at it as a like more of a quarterly standpoint, where if it did bad this quarter, why did it do bad? The same thing I would do with my manual trading. You get what I'm saying? Even
Yeah.
though it's been back tested for 10 years, that doesn't mean that it's going to continue to work in the future. You know what I mean? So I just use the past experience that I had with my manual trading to use it and tell these programmers and try to explain to them why it needs to be this way. You know what I mean? So
Right. Okay.
it
So
because that's another mission, right? The mission is telling them exactly what you want and trying to be very descriptive with what you need in order for them to code it correctly. You get me?
yeah.
That's a whole full-time job, honestly.
Yeah. So and how many markets are you trading it on?
Just Forex, bro. Just Forex. So we're working on
Okay.
futures, we're working
Yeah.
on other stuff, but the one that's been tested and that's been proven is my Forex spot. So
Okay.
that's
And
like the number one, our number one like focus, you know?
okay. Well, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll jump up that MyFX book link in
Yeah,
the
let's do it.
we can do it in the and actually do it now if you want, and then we'll because the guys watching this can see it, and the guys watching the next video where we break down something on a chart, we can have a look at that there as well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So there will be two videos to this, I'm guessing, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me share my screen. Will it allow me?
Yeah, should do.
So this is the MyFX book. Now keep in mind this MyFX book has only been operating since August 24th of 23. So about 6 months, I want to say. But as you can see, bro, there's swings, right? It's bro, like this robot has proven everything to me and more. Now over here, you guys are gonna see this massive drop, right? So here I started to risk about, if you notice, about these jumps right here. So from 14% we went to 18%. The reason why is because I started to risk about 4 or 5% with this strategy on this point. But notice the same thing that happens because yes, the robot will trade for me, but it doesn't pick the risk. You get what I'm saying? So I saw
Yeah,
it kind
yeah,
of winning over here. I started
yeah.
winning, winning, winning. And then I was like, okay, let me just go crazy on the risk. You know what I mean? And then this is what happened. It got me all the way up to 32%. But then what happens? Over leveraging, over risking, you lose it all, right? So then this is when I started to just relax. Hey, just chill out, bro. let me just risk 1 to 2% per trade and I'll be happy, right? So then that's when we started to grow it, just gradually and just really having big days. Like notice this big jump right here. That was just one day, like all these profits were just consistent profits overall, which is what I think every trader should try to look for, whether it's manual or algo. You know what I mean? It's not to do this. Go from this
Yeah.
to this.
So
That is
just for
not the
anyone
goal.
for anyone watching, just listening to the podcast, you're probably going, "What am I looking at here?" But you do want to go and have a look at this. So what we've got is an upward sloping curve, which is kind of like it's got a moderate slope. Then there's a big massive spike, like a heartbeat. Dips it back down to where it started, and then he sort of like it's a quite an aggressive curve up after that,
Yeah.
where I think you're risking just the normal again. Now,
The
are
normal.
you able to scroll down and just have a look at, can we have a look at some of the stats here? I'll just read them out. So we're looking at it looks like about a 60% win rate. I can't really see exactly. You think you got to hover over it, and 179 trades in that 6 month period with 9,000 pips gained. Yes, it is 60% win rate exactly, and average win of we won't go into all that, but profit factor 1.62. So that's the sort of stuff I look at. So this looks like a solid first 6 months of trading
And
here.
keep in mind, like there is, bad months or there's months that we haven't traded, right? Like this month we barely traded because it was December.
Yeah,
You
so
get me?
you
So
turned it off, did you? At like
yeah, so
over
it only
Christmas?
took,
Yeah.
if I wish I could pull these stats up, do you know? Yeah, right there. So this, you see, like it would trade. We really turned it off most of the time. I wish I could see the amount of trades it took. Is there a way of looking at that?
For December,
Yeah. Or is there no way?
uh, actually, I don't know. I don't know. Um,
Well, so I think one, right? I don't
is
know.
that one trade? Yeah, maybe there is. Maybe go into another
Yeah.
month, it'll tell you. If that changes, then it's yeah.
No,
Well,
so
no,
it's
that's
not.
not. It's not. That's the
So,
risk
but
ratio.
December we didn't turn it on. We decided it's the end of the month. Traders like to take their breaks. Not a lot of volatility. A
Mm.
bunch of bullshit happens in December, if I'm being honest. So I'd rather not, touch the markets. But notice like even these, like still 1%, 1.9%, 10%. Like there's still slow months. Like I'm not telling you that this bot's gonna make money year round. But it's going to make money overall. You know what I mean? So like then we started to really pick up the pace here. You get what I'm saying? Like even in February, we still have what, 8 days left or 6 days left. And we're up 13.5%.
Mm.
And I could pull up the live account that it is attached to, of course. And just to show you guys, there is a withdrawal here as well. It's not pulling up here because I withdrew right before just to,
Yeah.
I know that there's so many traders that probably, they can't show a withdrawal. You know what I mean? I just
Yeah.
wanted to make sure that there's a withdrawal for this interview because I haven't withdrawn at all from this account. Let's pull it up. So we were at 34,000, we withdrew 10,200, but everything is documented. I can pull
Awesome.
it up.
It's not often that we get this kind of proof on the show. So like, I mean, it's great to see.
Yeah, like I don't care, man. Like, and there's losses, man. Like yesterday, we took these two losses. Like, but does that make me a shitty trader, or does that make like no? Every trader that watches this is gonna understand. Like any real trader, right? Any profitable trader is gonna know that it's legit because
Mm.
I'm showing losses and I'm showing wins, but overall profitability. Like I think that's the whole goal with this. And then I could pull up our social trader tools, which this is like our account management that we do for people. So all these accounts are in profit. As you guys can see, like 20,000, 19,000, 17,000. Like we can go, there's loads of accounts on this account. So like these are traders that I'm helping, get funded, get profitable, trading their live accounts, everything, man. So
Awesome.
there's no
Awesome.
there's no cap in my rap, bro.
Yeah. Brilliant. Well, that's great to see. We'll jump back into the interview here. So how many markets are you trading on that? We should have probably looked, but
So
just out
that's
of
only GJ and gold, a bit of gold in
okay,
there.
okay, cool.
But
All
we
right.
don't
Well,
trade it on gold before because it wasn't like you saw before. Like
yeah.
those small months was because we were trying to trade gold and GJ. You get what I'm
Okay.
saying? So
Yeah,
we
yeah,
just
yeah,
eliminated gold. We decided, gold is not the best fit for this robot.
yeah.
So then we just run it on GJ from now on.
Okay. And like so, what next? Like, are you with regard to trading? I mean, like you've automated your strategy. Do you feel like I need to find another strategy, or I want to build another one, or I'm just now happy with
Yeah,
this? I'm gonna
100%. I think that if you become comfortable as a trader is the second your downhill starts. right? So I'm constantly working on trading strategies for not just this pair, but other pairs and other robots and other things. And it's not just for me at this point, man. Like as you can see, like that copy trader, like there's hundreds and hundreds of accounts that I help other people with, helping them pass their challenges, making them money. Like when they've never seen money in the markets. Like I really try to just change people's lives and not just for my own personal gain but for other people's gain. Like, and of course I'm not gonna give away my robot for free. That's not what I'm saying. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? I'm
Yeah.
not gonna
Yeah.
give
Yeah.
my services for free. I'm taking the time, effort. I've spent a lot of money building this robot. And a lot of people are gonna talk down on that. Like a lot of people, what they like to do is they like to, oh yeah, I only make money trading, but you have an Instagram account or you have a YouTube channel or you have signals or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just leave it as it is.
Now, what about like for folks that aren't like in the algo space and they're just trying to get their manual trading working? What kind of mindset things do you have that you can share that helped you along the journey?
I think take it slow, man. Everybody comes into this market, they see the cars, they see the watches, they see the chains, they see everything, bro, and they want it so fast. Like it took me so long to finally see the light, man. And I think just don't rush that process, bro. Like you have your own journey. Get off Instagram. Stop looking at what this guy's buying. Stop looking at how this guy's living his life. Pay attention to your own life and take control of your life and really dial in, bro. Like I see so many people worried about what everyone else is doing except themselves. You know what I mean? So I think just focusing on you and taking it slow. You're not gonna be rich overnight. You're not gonna be a millionaire overnight. Take it fucking slow. There's no reason for you to make $10,000 if you're making $3,000 a month at your regular job. You don't need to make $10,000 from the market in your first month. You can make $3,000 and replace your income. People tend to forget that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, remember where you came from, bro, and look back and see if you're up $6,000 on your funded account and you make $5,000 at your regular job. Stop trading. You know what I mean? Just stop that, bro. Just secure the bag. A lot of people don't know how to secure the bag. So take it slow, secure the bag, and just focus on you. I would say that.
Now, is there one thing you recommend somebody spend the next month trying to master if they were like looking to do, some charting work or
Yeah,
anything
I
really,
would
I suppose?
master my journal. I would master my journal. That learning how to really break down your trades, why you executed, why you got out, why you managed your risk there, why you even got in, what are your confluences. Mastering your journal is going to be your best mentor. That's why I don't really teach anymore, bro. Like I don't teach anymore. I just I'm just me. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like and if you want to learn from me, you can go on the YouTube channel that there's thousands of hours of content there. I've already done that. You know what I mean? I'm on a different stage in my journey.
Yeah.
So I think if you do want to learn something, your journal will be your best mentor. Your losses will be your best mentor. Your wins will be your best mentor. There's nothing anybody can tell you that will make you a profitable trader. You will tell you that by taking those trades, taking experience, and just, bro, just learning, man. Time and experience will get you there.
Cool. Well, look, we're going to wrap this show up. I'm not going to do the quick fires because I think we've pretty much touched on them
Yeah.
all. Before we wrap up, though, what is the best way for folks to find out more about you?
It's at Dr. Dollar, so Dr. Dollar on Instagram, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Well, look, a big thank you to Arturo, Dr. Dollar, for sharing with us today. Everything we've discussed here will be in the show notes. To find that, click the link below the video here or in the podcast description. Or if you're over there on Trading Up, just search for probably Dr. Dollar or Arturo in the
Yeah.
search box. Until next time, I wish all my listeners trading happiness and success.